Welcome to Everything in Between.
We're a mother
and daughter
with a lot to say about, well,
everything. I'm Braelyn.
And I'm Lynn. And this is your show for perspective, real talk,
and feeling less alone in the chaos.
Hey.
Hey.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
It's a Monday, recording day today. Mm-hmm. How are you?
Doing good.
Good.
Yeah. Bit busy today, but
I know we hate that word.
Yeah.
But sometimes it just happens.
I feel like it's just like you can say busy in the literal sense and you can say busy in a figurative sense. And I mean like in the literal sense of like our days are busy today. Mm-hmm. They're packed.
I try to call it overscheduled.
Sure.
I didn't plan well today.
Yeah. Yeah. I also did not do my weekly planning yesterday because we were out of town.
Oh, damn.
So that's the first thing. And this is the first moment I've been in the office recording this. So that's the first thing I'm going to do when I'm done with this.
Like it's the morning, but it'll be the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody. I'm Lynn.
Braelyn.
And this is Everything in Between. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about money stories today.
Yeah.
We have not really gotten to money and finance, all of that. So it's an interesting topic, I think, especially framed for women.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone can take something from this.
Yeah. And I had just asked you, what is a money story?
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
I think I got the answer right.
You definitely did.
It's like a perception or a story you have around money that maybe you got either through your experience, sometimes through your upbringing, things that people told you, and how you view money makes actually a really big difference.
And I will even add to that, like how your body feels when there's conversations about money and when you think about your money goals. And I think that's a whole part of it too, is like your nervous system. Could be even generational. That's
for sure. I can remember your dad and I would take turns in our marriage, like who would pay the bills kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Before auto pay, you had to open your bills and like write them all out.
I remember them sitting at the counter.
It was a whole
specifically
thing,
Dad,
you know?
Sitting at the counter with all of these papers, even like well into high school.
Yeah,
he would sit at the counter with all of the envelopes
he would still
and
do
mail.
It that way if he could.
Yeah,
but the point being, when it was his turn, quite often he would gear up for that at night, and so it'd be like 9:45, and I'm winding down for bed, and he would say, "Hey, what about this thing or that?" And I would be like, no.
Yeah.
Like money and nighttime, because I do have, I definitely can have stress and anxiety around money.
Yeah.
I don't know people that don't.
No, I mean, I definitely, we'll joke about times when you're in like a good money place versus like a not good money place. Like me and Whitney, the bookkeeper. Because I'd be like, you can't talk to mom about anything money right now. She's in one of her freakouts. Or it's like, she's feeling good. Maybe I'll ask her if we can buy this thing.
No.
Like money is flowing good. So I know that we can can we get this extra thing for upstairs that we need to replace?
Well, I just said to my brother, I just saw my brother and he's semi-retired and he sells stuff on eBay. Mm-hmm. So he has these really up and down times. His mood. Oh. He thinks he's super steady, but his mood is definitely like, I'm selling more.
When there's little cha-chings going off on his phone from his eBay, he is feeling way better. Mm-hmm. Which my digital products are like that too.
Yeah.
And there's so many weird things you can try to do to control that. But at the end of the day, it's like, you can only do so much.
Mm-hmm. I'm very curious, since I did raise you, or you grew up in my home, however, whatever role you want to give me. What do you say you have from childhood, if anything, as a money story? Because you were not a typical teen.
No.
So I will say what I think, but then I'd like to know.
I think this is fascinating because all three of me and my two sisters have very different money stories. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because by the time you got to me, there was no like penny pinching. There was no shopping at thrift stores. There were we had a nicer lifestyle though. And so my money story from you guys is that like the sky is the limit. Like, you can do anything. You can make anything happen. Like, I don't have any weird, like, you have to budget. Like, maybe my money story is bad because, like, I often get into a lot of debt because it's like, I am like, well, I'll just figure it out.
Abundance.
Yeah, it's like definitely more of like I'm not going to restrict what I'm doing if there's not enough cash in the bank. Like I'll just figure it out later. And I always do.
You always do.
Always
that
figure
would
it out.
literally, there are people right now that are hyperventilating.
Oh, I know. And I talked on the podcast with my friends. We had a finance episode and like 2 of us were very risky and 2 of us were very conservative. And we were like, well, the risky people are definitely having more fun.
I'm curious if you and your husband talked about like the way he was raised versus you, or like your approach to money before you got married. You were dating since high school.
Yeah.
But
no, we're both equally bad. Like we're both just we'll talk about how when we used to go to raves, we used to say money's not real this weekend. So like just like buy whatever you want, do whatever you want. It's a money's not real weekend. And like same thing when we'll go to Disneyland. Like we would go to Disneyland and put it on a credit card and just be like, well, we're young. We want to live and have fun and we want to go to Disneyland and we'll just figure it out later.
And the money story around that is what?
It's abundance. It'll always come back to you. There's no need to like, the more that you like hold on to money and the more that you're like, no, it's mine and I need to like have it all the time, like this control, the less it flows to you. And the more you just release it and it's like, whatever, I'll figure it out, the more it comes to you.
So my money story.
Well, you were going to share what you thought I was.
Well, abundance, true.
Yeah.
But it was through hard work and sacrifice.
Oh, for sure.
And so
you have to be working.
As a teenager, I really didn't think you guys should work as teens.
Yeah.
I gave you what I thought was a pretty decent like spending allowance and wanted you to learn to budget that for your own clothing and things like that. But then I really like, I was an athlete. And so I didn't work in high school other than the summers.
Yeah.
But you went out and got a job because you didn't have an after school activity. And I was like, well, you were done with school.
Did I want to get a job?
You did.
Oh.
And you were wanting like designer purses from what I remember. And so you went and got a job and you worked really hard and you stayed at it.
Religion jeans.
And you loved
like
all
Ed
the brand
Hardy.
things.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, buy that, you know. And then you ended up like buying and selling cars. Like you were driving a Hummer 3 in high school.
Yeah, that's
and
true. And I made money on it.
It was a sweet ride.
Yeah.
Then you sold it and made money. Like I was like, oh, this is different. You graduated high school with a savings account. Nobody does that. Then you went and spent it all in Greece on a trip.
Turkey, but yeah.
Yes, Turkey.
Yeah.
So that was what I saw, was that you were just gritty. And if you wanted something, you would go after it.
Yeah.
I do believe that you knew you had to work for it.
Yeah, you definitely like, I mean, some people who are really woo-woo will say like, I get paid just to exist, which is like a whole nother thing. But like, you have to have some level of at least like setting something up in the beginning that can work for you. There's some level of hard work there.
Well, like another example is you went to college, year 1, you were in the dorm. We were supporting you through that. You weren't eligible for student aid because we had a profitable business.
Money.
And so then we helped you. And then your second year, we were just
talking about this.
Yeah, we were just yesterday in Tucson where you went to school and drove past where your apartment was.
Yeah.
And you wanted this really nice loft apartment.
Yeah.
And to do that, I was like, well, here's our level of support.
Yeah, you were like, we'll pay this much.
Yeah. And so you
like,
said, okay, I'm going to go back to work at the restaurant where I was before at this location.
Yeah.
I know this, I can do this in my sleep.
I actually was really worried. I don't know if you remember when I first got my serving job, I was like, I can't do this. And I called you and I was like, it's too much. It's overwhelming. Like, I don't think I can do it. And you were like, just stick with it. Like, you'll probably be fine.
You left somebody's salmon off once and they yelled at you or something. You did slay.
Yeah, as a server.
But you made this choice then that year that you wanted the nice apartment. You didn't want a roommate. You had to work to do it. And you did. And we would go down and see you and your apartment was amazing. And you had your cat. It was beautiful. You were just loving all of that.
Yeah.
And then you got tired of working and you're like, okay, I'm going to go live in a cheaper house now.
Yeah, I lived in an absolute shithole.
But
you covered the whole thing. I was like,
that's
over
fine.
this.
That's in the,
I also like joined a
$400
sorority, started an internship.
Yeah.
I like kind of changed what I was doing.
So you always seem to understand to me. So it's interesting what you're saying.
Yeah.
Is that if I want something nicer, it's going to cost more and I have to work and earn that.
Yeah.
You didn't, I never felt you were entitled. You never said, well,
No.
I need more money from you so I can do X, Y, Z,
No.
but I'm also really hard in school and I'm working, you know.
No,
you just didn't
definitely
pull
not
that.
No, but I feel like it's like, Yeah, what you're saying is true. Like I've always worked hard, but like I feel like because I grew up with a lot of nice things, that's hard when
And-
you go to college because all of a sudden you're living in a shitty apartment
Yeah.
with shitty furniture. And I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah, 'cause-
Like, where's my, and so that's the bit that I think like both my husband and I have a little bit of like, well, why should we have to live like this when we grew up living like this and we want to stay at that level? So that's a little bit where it's like, we have a really high car payment because we both like to have a nice car, you know, and it's like, we're smart about some things, but other things we're like, well, why should we skimp on this when this is like what we feel we deserve, even if we can't always. I'm always like a more reactionary budget person. Like, let's just sign up for the gym and then we'll figure out how we're going to pay for it later. And rather than a let's save up and now we know we have the money in our budget.
Probably not a good tactic overall.
Honestly, it's been working fine. So,
Yeah. But you also saw the hard work.
well, I think
So
I like that.
you saw us grinding,
Yes.
and getting nice things.
I like that motivation of like, well, now it's like pressure. It's like, well, we bought the car, so now we have to figure out a way to pay for it. I like that pressure rather than I know I want to buy a nice car. I'm gonna start working harder now. It's like
You do have a variable budget.
yeah.
What you're saying does not work if you make X number of dollars per week, because you're just, and then you're going to increase beyond that.
No.
Because you have a variable and
Yeah.
lots of people don't. So that doesn't work because then that's just debt.
My money story is like I can always make more money. Like you're like when I set a budget, I set it to be like this is how much money I need to make, not how much I need to cut back.
Yes.
It's more of
let's
like an
come back to
abundance
that,
mindset.
because you have like
budget.
this abundance budget
Yes.
situation.
Yeah.
I was raised very differently. And even in the faith set that I was raised in, if you take it all the way back to, I think we've talked about, there's Amish there. So it's like poverty is morally right somehow. I mean, really interesting.
Yeah, like a lack of consumerism.
Well, yeah, and then there are scriptures that you can take to say that poor people are more blessed. It's harder for a rich man to enter the kingdom than it is for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. I don't even know what that's about. But there's these scriptures that you can pull out that, and I think the meaning is if you are poor, you can still find happiness.
Yeah.
I don't think it is the way some of the people in my faith set, I'll be very careful, interpreted that being poor is good, and if you were rich,
It's bad.
it's bad because you cheated somebody, you lied, like you did, like all the rich people did things that I wouldn't have done to get rich, and so therefore money was a little bit looked down upon
maybe
with some of them.
in like the 1800s, that was the case.
I wasn't raised in the 1800s.
Well, I mean, but your family, generations back. Like maybe back then that
I
came
mean,
from
it
that
is
because
still the case, right? I mean, do you believe people should be billionaires?
no, I think when it comes
Right.
to billionaires, but I
Yeah.
do think that having good millionaires only helps all of society. The more good
Yes.
people that are wealthy,
Yes.
the more society benefits.
This is true. And they are not wrong that some people do get wealth by ill means.
yes, we know a lot of people that
Yes.
have gotten wealth by
Yes,
ill means.
Of course. But I entered into my adult life, and that was tucked in the back of my mind. Now, I didn't really like it. Like, and I didn't see it creep up a ton. My parents built a really nice house, but then there was this little bit of guilt. Like people would walk in and my dad felt it necessary sometimes to be like, well, we built this ourselves, so we actually, were able to do it for half of market value. And you sort of had to explain if you had something nice, that you got a good deal on it.
Or that you worked really hard for it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so there was this justification that I grew up with. And that money story for me made me want to get out of that. But I didn't have anybody teach me about wealth.
Yeah.
I read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Have you heard of that one? And that's about your philosophy of money.
Yeah.
And how people with a poverty mentality will likely always remain fairly not wealthy.
Yeah.
Because you have a never enough mentality and like you fear debt at all costs.
Yeah.
wealthy people actually know how to use debt well.
Yeah.
And I say that really carefully, but quite often, I think I taught you guys cash is king.
Yes.
It's very hard to come by. And so.
And not all debt is bad debt.
That's right. Yeah, for sure. So that was a very different mentality.
Yeah. That's
And
interesting.
I had to kind of clamber out of that. And I think I'm past where I feel like I have to justify.
Yeah.
Although I did just see there was a chart about where you sit. If you earn this much and have this much in savings, you are wealthy.
Yeah.
If you earn this much and have this much in savings, you are like upper middle class, this much. And I was interested that I fit into upper middle. I'm actually not wealthy by the standards of this thing.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Right? I mean, you probably think I'm...
in my eyes, you are. But yeah, compared to me. But then I probably am doing better than I think.
I think you have to have 15 million in assets of
That's
like a net
crazy.
value.
Yeah.
To be considered wealthy, which years ago was like, wow, if you get to 1 million,
Yeah.
That's different. Anyway, that's just labels that people put on.
Yeah.
But I, as a business owner, I found that like I wanted to be really careful that I wanted people to have goals and understand they could increase. And I loved seeing people get out of poverty that came to work for us.
Yeah.
People buy houses, get married, get their cars because we gave them raises and bonuses and health insurance
show
and
them a
all of
different
that.
path.
I loved that.
Yeah.
And I also wasn't like, I didn't drive my Jaguar at that time.
Yeah.
Because I was very conscious of that image of, here's all these people working so hard so that the boss can have a big house and a big car.
Yeah.
That never felt right to me somehow.
Yeah.
So maybe
Even though you guys were working longer hours and more,
they wouldn't have held it
often.
against us.
Yeah.
Because we did work our asses off.
Yeah.
And they knew they couldn't outwork us.
Yeah.
And they didn't feel bad.
Yeah.
To my knowledge.
Yeah.
Not that they would tell you. But so that's interesting how those stories shape your approach to money.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk too about the mindset around money.
Yeah. That's a big one.
Is it black and white? Here's what you make. Here's what your stuff costs.
Well-
this is what you end up with. How do you actually, if you're in a job
Yeah.
where this is your job, your negotiated salary, every year you get your 5% raise,
Yeah.
how do you take a abundance mindset around money that you seem to have about, I will always figure out a way to make more?
Yeah. Well, you talked about something about like being in poverty. They have this like never enough mindset. And I think what's funny, and I can't speak for all people, but for myself, it's like actually you have to have like I am perfectly fine with everything I have mindset. Like, I think it comes back to like gratitude and like knowing that like it's a fine line of like, yes, you want more, but you also have to be extremely grateful for everything you already have. And if you're missing that piece, the more doesn't come. You have to be like energetically, completely grateful for every little thing that you have. And I mean down to like running water, hot water, like basic things that I think a lot of people don't think about that you have, like the fact that you even have a car, all those things. And then that's where you get that abundance mindset from, because then you start thinking about it and you're like, oh my God, I actually do have a lot of stuff. And I'm like thankful for all these things that I have.
I have watched you navigate through like,
We have had a lot of money struggles.
I've watched you navigate when you're crushing and you're doing really well. And
Yeah.
I've watched you stick to a really strict budget.
Yeah.
And just not buy
I mean,
stuff.
there was a time when you were like giving us grocery gift cards.
Oh my gosh, I forgot
Because
about
we
that.
like couldn't
Was that
afford
during
our
COVID?
groceries. No, it was after that. It was like not that long ago.
It feels like a long time ago.
It was right when Trey was changing jobs.
I think it's so important to know where you came from too. And your gratitude. I don't mind telling people the story that we ran into hard times long before we started our business. And I know what it's like to stand in a line with food stamps.
Yeah.
And it's not the same as where you have a debit card now and people might not notice. Like you had to get out these paper, like it was so humbling to get out these little paper coupons. and buy groceries for your kids and get the formula for the babies on the WIC program. So I hope that going through that experience always stays with me, that I don't look at it as a right, that we have a right. I believe humans have a right to clean water and shelter and food and all of that. We don't all have it, but the rights beyond that is what you either are lucky to get. Yeah. You've worked hard, you've manifested, somebody gave you, I don't know. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think that really does affect, and yet the poverty mentality would maybe have kept me there. Mm-hmm. I think you saw, we always talk about that we push the mark. Mm-hmm. We always
We were just talking about this like yesterday.
Right. It's like we were always just pushing, and that's mostly me.
You were always just like shooting for the next big thing. Mm-hmm. You never settled. Mm-hmm. Even if at first like it wasn't that big of a thing.
And it doesn't mean like I would get something and then I wouldn't be able to afford it.
No.
It was just being creative and driven enough to
find a way.
Manifest and find a way.
Yeah.
Instead of, I'm never going to get that house I want.
Yeah.
Well, if you say that.
You're not going to.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not, turns out. Mm-hmm. So the mindset here is super key.
Yeah. It's really, at the end of the day, just like believing that you can. That you're capable.
I mean, we are.
Even stacked, when all odds are stacked against you.
Right.
And all the evidence points to no, it's saying, well, it's like having a little tiny spark of hope saying, maybe though, but maybe, and going for that. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it's like to have $15 million in the bank, because I don't.
One day, maybe.
I don't know how much
that's
can
what
you
you
possibly spend. That's not my goal. And yet I will tell you that even at all different levels, you just have a different kind of pressure.
Oh, totally.
Which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it never goes away. You always think like, when I hit this level of income, I won't have these problems anymore.
It's just different ones.
And it's just different problems.
Because then you invested in something.
Yes.
Or
just whatever. It's like,
and
cool,
then
your problems are just more expensive now.
Yes.
And lifestyle creep is a real thing too. Mm-hmm. Like you're like, whoopee, I'm making more money. And the next thing you know, you're like, where did all my more money go?
Mm-hmm. I think that no matter where you are in black and white numbers, here's what I make right now. Here's my expenses. This is what I'm left with. No matter how happy you are. I mean, there's that formula for everybody, right? I think that you can manifest whatever it is that you want. And so for some people, what Rich Dad Poor Dad says is, one way to be truly wealthy is to have a very low cost of living.
Oh, that's, for sure.
So there's some people that think, okay, cool. Like, as long as you're not unhappy with that, you can reduce your cost of living as one way to become more wealthy. Mm-hmm. And so you can look at your life and go,
live below your means.
Yes. And you can, some people can go way below. The thing is, Matt Garrett is a friend of mine and he's a financial expert, and I love his view on money. And he says, when you look at your budget, just look at it every month. Mm-hmm. And as long as you're spending less than you make, just review it and be like, am I still feel good about it? Like, did I get joy from this purchase? Mm-hmm. It's almost like that. Is it Marie Kondo? What's her name?
Marie Kondo.
Yeah.
Does this spark joy?
Does this spark joy with a shirt?
Yeah.
I'll give you a crazy example. Like we literally walk every morning in our neighborhood and we stop and get $5 lattes, which I still think is a good price.
Yeah. No, that is.
I don't get the $9 ones. I get the $5 ones, but they happen to be the ones that I like.
Yeah.
We stop every day and get these. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's $10 a day times however many
$300 a month.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Ish. So at first there was always like, we used to be like, are we stopping today? Mm-hmm. Oh, we probably shouldn't. We stopped the last 2 days in a row. We'd have this whole battle over it. And then we kind of took Matt's approach and we're like,
does it bring joy?
What if we just let ourselves get the coffee every day? Mm-hmm. I don't want to buy my own espresso machine.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess with the grounds. I don't want to clean it up. I don't like any of that. I love the experience of being in my coffee shop. I see friends. We know the people that are in there. We stop and pause for a little. It's really a nice routine.
Yeah.
It brings us incredible joy. Could I invest that $3,600 a year? I could. But if it brings me joy, then I think that's a great investment.
Yes.
Now, if we did that with absolutely everything, it might be a little ridiculous.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, if it brings you joy, that's why, like, how I feel about the Disneyland thing. Like, if it's something that brings you immense joy, like, go for it. I'm never the person that's going to tell you to save your money, unless things aren't bringing you joy. Stop spending your money on that.
That's the key.
Yes.
I am so excited about what I'm seeing from Gen Z.
Yeah.
And their money habits. Because I think they're being a little more conscious than sometimes the other generations. Maybe you're going, don't give them that credit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Think of all the fashion, like fast fashion. That's huge. And they're like really following trends that are very quickly rising and dying.
One thing that I saw that they're doing and that manufacturers are jumping on board with is cost per wear.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
CPW.
Yeah.
They're putting it on there now.
I've been doing this long before.
I know, but they
a
made
thing.
it a thing.
Yeah.
And so, if I'm going to buy, because I remember your sister would be like not in college. And she would say, well, I need to get these $200 jeans because they're going to last me longer. And it would be like, cool, you're on a college budget and I'm supporting you. So maybe this isn't the time to buy the $200 jeans. I understand they last longer.
Yeah.
But she has still to this day very few clothes, but very good quality.
Yeah.
She wears everything
Different
she
philosophy.
has. Yes.
Yeah.
As opposed to I can end up with a bunch of stuff until I've learned how to manage it that I don't really need.
Yeah.
So the cost per wear makes a lot of sense to me. As
That's
long
a
as
good
you can
thing.
afford the initial cost.
Yeah.
But if you're making that choice, I just think that's conscious consumerism.
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
That definitely is more needed in this day and age, especially with clothes, because they're one of the largest pollutants that we have. It's like crazy.
Right. And they're almost like disposable now.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Do you need a shirt that costs you $5?
Yeah. But going back to like how you feel about spending money on things and if it brings joy, there's a woman that I follow named Jamie C, and she's all about rewiring your nervous system around money and your money stories and money beliefs. And she has this practice where she says when you open your bank account and you see things like leaving, you see money leaving your bank account, right? You're like, oh, you might like feel tightness in your chest. She says, look at it like, I'm so grateful that I can afford my cell phone bill. I'm so grateful that I can pay for my utilities. I'm so grateful that I can buy my kid this thing they need. So everything that you're seeing go away, instead flip it and think about how grateful you are that you can afford that thing, which I think is really powerful.
I
if you're
really
somebody
hate
that opens
seeing my
your bank
money go
account.
out the door.
Yeah, so
I hate
instead
it
you
so
like, because
much.
that's not good money energy, you
No,
know?
it's
if you
not.
want to cling to it, again, it's not going to flow to you as much. So I like flipping the script on it like that.
That's a challenge.
Yeah.
That's a good challenge.
With my digital products are weird,
Right.
because you're just putting stuff out there, and it's really woo woo and energetic with like how much you can make in a month, even when you're doing the same output and
You
the
really
same
can't
stuff.
budget and be like, I need to sell X thousands of dollars worth of product this month.
But the crazy thing is that when I'm focused on it more, and when I'm checking my sales and when I have the notifications and I'm like more stressed about it, I make less money. And I've tried
Energetically.
this so many times. And when I'm like, whatever, money's flowing, not going to check it, not going to obsess over the sales, just know that like I'm putting out my stuff and it's working for me. And my chat helped me with this a long time ago, thinking about like your business tree. And you have all these things out there and they're always working for you, blogs and content and video. And so at any point, anytime, somebody can find your stuff, even if I stopped posting videos. So it's not
And
about
you believe
like,
that's about energy.
yes. It's not about like how much I'm putting out there, but if I'm putting out this energy of like, well, I need it, give it to me, I need it. Like, even if a person is doing that to you, you're going to be like, yuck, get away from me. So I think money's kind of the same. And when you're kind of just like nonchalant, like, whatever, I know it's coming to me, like, don't worry about it, get that thing to me whenever.
Do you think that's
It
because
flows
your
nicer.
mindset changes your behavior? Or do you think it's just 100%, we'll call it woo-woo,
A little
that
bit of
it's
both.
energetically what's happening?
A little bit of both. Like, I think weirdly enough, if you were to like find my stuff online and I'm putting out icky energy, like you're going to feel that. And if I'm putting out like good energy, you're going to feel that. People are more drawn to you. They're going to, it's like you're more of a source of attraction. But I do think that a little bit, it is obviously like, how big is your business tree? How much stuff do you have out there? You can't just like not market yourself at all and be like, well, sales will come.
So if you think that, like, if you have a limiting belief, like I'm only can earn X number of dollars with this product, then also your efforts aren't going to be the same.
It doesn't match.
And then when you start to say, I'm going to crush it and here's my goal, you start actually doing things too.
Totally.
Energetically differently, but you actually will find yourself energized to do those things.
Yeah, it's both.
So I think it's a combo.
It's definitely both.
Of how we look at it and just whether we're restrictive or not. Like if you're in sales at all.
Yeah.
A lot of people in sales, and anybody who's pushing their business does this too, is you can have a limiting belief around how many clients potential you have. So a sales team, when I was leading my team here, sometimes it would be like, well, there's all this competition now and there's more players in the market. And it's like, okay, but we have 100 clients and there are tens of thousands of potential clients in the country. So you don't need a whole bunch.
Yeah.
You just need some and the right ones.
Yes.
And so if you have, it's called a scarcity mentality.
Oh, or mindset.
Yes. If you have the scarcity, you're going to put out desperation. You're going to look at different things when you're searching for clients. You're going to tell yourself, I can't sign that big client. I better go to the small one.
Yep.
And so your limiting belief so much also affects your approach and your behavior and all of that.
And the craziest thing that I found about limiting beliefs is that most people have no idea they have them because you think it's a fact.
Yes.
So you don't even know that it's a limiting belief because it's just something that you believe as fact. Like how much money you think you can make. You might believe that's a fact. Your ceiling, but it's completely not.
Somebody might have told you, you will never be a high earner.
Yeah.
You
for whatever reason.
You weren't trained,
that.
you weren't capable, whatever. These things come into us and then we accept them as facts sometimes.
Yeah.
And by the same token, some people tell you you could do whatever you want and some people can't do whatever they want.
No.
To the extent of like, maybe I'm not skilled in making digital products. So
but you could become skilled.
Perhaps. I mean, why not think that way?
Yeah.
But it's always a thing of like, you're not going to become a professional basketball player.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some true, but I might become a professional basketball coach. Like, I don't know, you never know. I really believe in the realm of like almost anything is possible if you really think it is. But going back to limiting beliefs, there's actually this very woo-woo guy, Bashar. He like is one of those people that channels a higher deity, you know what I mean, through him. So he has this theory of believability.
No, I don't know what you mean, but okay.
There's very woo-woo people like Abraham Hicks. They channel a higher being through their human body.
Okay.
So they're saying,
don't we all do that?
It's like a specific spiritual entity that they are saying is communicating with me and I'm communicating with you.
Okay.
Yes, it's a whole very woo-woo thing.
Yeah.
So one of them, this guy's name is Bashar, and if you want to uncover your limiting beliefs, he has a really cool exercise.
Okay.
So he asks you, like, what is something that you want? Whatever. You say, I want to be a millionaire. And he goes, okay, could you be a millionaire in 20 years? And you're like, yeah. Okay, what about 10 years? Yeah. 5 years? Maybe. 3 years? And you stop wherever it gets sticky for you, whatever your thing is, like where you're like
next month. Yeah.
Next tomorrow. You win the lottery, whatever. So then when you get sticky, you think about why. Why do I not think that I could do that in that time frame? Is it because I'm not skilled? Is it because I don't have the resources? Is it because I don't know the right people? And that questioning helps you uncover what your limiting belief is.
It's really interesting.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it is.
And I've done this exercise a ton of times with myself because I was always like, I don't have limiting beliefs.
I was going to ask if you're willing to share one, and I'm trying to think myself, we can be vulnerable here.
Yeah.
Are you aware of one that you currently have or recently?
Something that I still struggle with is that I have to post videos in order to make digital product sales. that's kind of what I was talking
Why,
about.
I would think that's true.
You would think
Right.
that's true.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I was talking about working through is like, but I already have this whole huge business tree. I have 2,600 TikTok videos out there. I've got hundreds of YouTube videos.
So
Like,
all of a sudden one could do something
it doesn't matter.
without you creating a new one.
Exactly. Yeah. There's all of this stuff. People could start Googling me. I've got blogs. Like, there's no reason why I feel the need that if I don't post as many videos this month, I'm going to make less money. So.
And what did you do with that?
I turned off all my sales notifications. Like, I stopped being so like controlling on the numbers and just trusted, like, I do have this big business tree and sales could come to me at any time. And it totally makes sense. I have all these things already out there working for me. I don't need to, I still do post videos every day, but I don't need to. If I take a break, I don't like worry about it as much because I'm like, well, I have all this other stuff out there. So I kind of like backed it up with evidence of like why that belief isn't necessarily true.
Yeah, I don't know about a limiting one, but I do struggle with if I let myself feel that something has gotten out of my control. And I start to at all feel like a victim. So I will have this sometimes in managing this building. If I have anything going on and I just feel like I'm waiting or I have, things that are happening with tenants or whatever. And I can then spiral. I can just go right down to a dark place.
Yeah.
And there's so much tied up in this building. Like you work here and we own all parts of the businesses in all of this. And so then I go spiral and I'm like, oh my God, it's a house of cards. It's all going to fall, and I get to that place. And then the way I pull out of it is strictly a mindset and I take action.
Yeah.
So I sit down and I say, oh, what actions can I take to help right now? And I just believe that even if those specific actions don't have a specific result, it changes my mindset.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing something.
Your mindset is literally everything.
But as soon as I find myself like, if you want to get in the fetal position on the floor or whatever, and you're just like, you won't take any action and then nothing will change because it really does come from just like everything from taking action. And then that calms my inner voice that can get afraid or anxious because it's like, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this. I'm taking steps.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that that's a limiting belief. It just kind of crops up for me when there's things going on that I feel like aren't in my control.
I think that like I had that same experience when we were having like a lot of money troubles. I would remind myself like I've always figured everything out. I've never not figured something out, like ever. Have you ever not figured something out? You've literally always figured stuff out.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and there might be a point in time where you think I'm never going to figure this out, but then that's not the end. Like you are. So I remind myself of that a lot when we were like dealing with everything. I was like, we've always figured everything out. So like, why is this going to be any different?
Also, I don't know if you might not like this, but tell me what you think. When cash flow with businesses is always a thing. So you can have a successful business that's doing well, but for whatever reason, the cash isn't coming in at the right time and you can get cash crimped and stressed. And that's a lot of what I dealt with when we were running our company. And so the way we would get through that is we would sit down and be like, okay, let's say it all just starts to crumble. What is our plan? And we would get ourselves down to where we can take, and we would pick like you, me, you, right? These 4 people can do these things and our income will still be this at the worst case scenario and we will make it.
Yeah.
And we don't have to fold. And as long as we're watching and we know, and as long as we had like this exit ramp or like not plan B with leaving, just making radical changes in order to stay alive. And then that gave us the comfort to go on.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm like, we're going to be on the streets.
I think in
homeless,
a business that
you know?
totally makes sense. And I feel like it's kind of just like a safety net for yourself that you create. That, you know, like, well, if we fall, we're going to stumble for a little bit, but we're not going to die.
I had to walk it out because otherwise I would put myself homeless on the street.
Yeah.
Which not really, but I would let myself get pretty dark. So that, I don't like to call it a plan B, but just I will be okay if this happens.
Yeah.
You know, type of scenario.
I like that. I think that's less common in like personal lives, you know? I mean, you could still do the same thing essentially. Like,
No, I think it's a good exercise.
If money is short, what are we going to do? We can cut this, and this, like, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. What can we trim?
What's the minimum viable?
What can we do to bring in more cash right now?
Yeah.
All those things. So just that I think it's about power and control and always having control, knowing that you're in control instead of feeling like a victim to money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you can lose a job or you can
Anything
have lots
can
of things that
happen.
happen to you, but
what you do after.
Yeah. Becoming not a victim to that. All right, this happened. It's bad. It's not the end. How can I make the best of this?
Yeah. I don't think that's a skill that everybody has. I think that's a pretty like optimistic, positive, you know?
You have it, right?
Yeah. I think a lot of people, those shit hits the fan and they're like, well, my life is fucked, I guess.
That I do see that sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't work with that a lot. But I do see that. You know, I'm going to get a bunch of money things now on my Instagram because my phone's sitting right here.
They've proven time and time again, they don't listen to us.
Oh, well, I don't know about that.
The algorithm is just so crazy that it knows who you are around.
No, it knows what
I'm
thinking about now. And it's going to be like, oh.
It's because this is what I tell my roommate all the time. It has such a good profile on you. And there are a million other exactly identical you, maybe not a million. There are a lot of other yous down to the penny. And so when they start searching other things, they know that is maybe on your radar as well. Yes.
I will let you know.
Yeah.
If I get a bunch of money ads on my Instagram.
Yeah.
Or people that have the secret to money.
Have we ever talked, did we have like a money like managing episode?
No.
Because I have a really great app I'll plug.
We talked about it. You plugged in your app and I talked about mine.
Okay.
There was a little bit about budgeting, but I think it was worked into something else. But you can
Albert
mention it.
app is, this is not sponsored. It's just so good because you connect it with your banks. It tells you everything that's going on. But my favorite feature is that it auto saves for you without you having to do anything.
I think that's cool.
It's really nice.
I think the thing that is important is to have an eye on it and be conscious about everything.
You cannot know what's going on if you don't have the data.
Right.
You have to know about your finances. You have to know what's going on. And the easiest way to do that is some app that just tells you.
So if you're like, I don't want to look at my bank account because I don't want to know what's going on in there.
You got to get over that.
You got to get past that because you
look at it like it's gratitude. You know, I'm so thankful I can afford this. I can afford this. I can afford this. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that how we think around it really does make a difference. Yeah.
And if you can start thinking about like, what money stories do I have? Do I believe certain things? How did my parents act around money? How does even my peers, the people around me, how do they act around money? How do they think of it? Do they think that, you can only do so much and you're capped out and really what? Yeah.
There's some secrecy around it too, I think, because people aren't really sharing a ton of, everything online that you see is everyone looks like they're doing really well. And they're out shopping and they're buying the new outfits. And it's like, is there just an endless supply of money floating around?
Young people, if you see all your friends are doing all of this stuff, they are in credit card debt. Just plain and simple. You don't even, you have to question if you're like, how are they taking so many trips? How are they always having all this new stuff? They're using credit cards. Guarantee. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the points.
Yeah.
But you got to be able to pay the bill.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't want to end there though.
No.
What would be your best mindset tip for when you're not feeling it with
I feel
your
like
money.
I always say this, but gratitude, really,
It's so boring, Braelyn. No,
I
I'm
know,
kidding.
but it works so good. Really think about, if you need to sit down. Okay, Mary Tatimas. I read her book, and she talks about in the darkest, deepest, lowest moment of her life, she sat down and made a list of things she could be grateful for, and that stuck with me so much, because if you are feeling really in the shitter, sit down and write out, what do I have that I can be grateful for? And I guarantee you'll have way more things than you think. And that really helps you switch that perspective of I don't have enough to, wow, I have so much.
I think mine would be around comparison, because that really just can get you into a mindset that's so
Internet's
negative.
not real.
And if you realize that you're comparing what you have, so it is a little bit of the gratitude, but it's
Yes.
more about like, all right, that's just what I know about that person.
Like the
and what
internet's
I
literally
think I
not
know.
real. Like
Even
it
if
is
you
a
just
highlight
meet
reel.
somebody and you're like head to toe everything, it's like, I don't know your financial situation.
You don't. They could be in so much debt.
We lived in an area when you were growing up for about 4 years that was multi-millionaires, and just incredibly wealthy people. And we were square on middle class.
Yeah.
And that was really tough. I learned a lot. But I do remember there was this family that your sister was friends with the kids, and it looked like they had everything. Their house was amazing. The kids always had the designer brands. They drove beautiful cars. They really looked like they had it all. And your dad got to know their dad in a more intimate way, and they started hanging out and chatting. His family did not know that they were in incredible debt.
Yeah.
He had triple mortgaged their house, their business, everything. And he felt this pressure to keep up this lifestyle. And he was near suicide.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't handle the stress of it. And I was like, wow. So now I'm walking around looking at all these people that I'm going,
What's going on behind closed doors?
what's going on?
Yeah.
And so I would rather be middle class or poor.
And not have that going on.
And not have that expectation on me. And so I think that's where you can really just realize that all comparison is just awful and does no good because you don't know the story.
They say comparison is the thief of joy.
I like that. Yeah, I believe that's true. So that's where I would say catch myself. If my money thoughts are around comparison, that's a thought. I don't know that's true. I don't know what shoes they're in.
Yeah.
But I can do something about where I am today.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, it was.
That was a good one. Hey, we didn't talk about what our current hacker obsession is.
Yeah.
Do you have one today?
I'm just excited because my clothing box is going to be there when I get home today.
I've been telling her for so long because
So I'm going to look real cute next episode.
yeah, something new.
I'm very excited.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love right now armoire.
Armoire.
Yes.
Armoire.
Armoire. We don't know how to
I don't
say
know
it.
how to. We never know how to say
It's
anything.
like gala gala.
Yeah.
I'm Amish at the end of the day.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
What does that have to do with your
I
pronunciation?
don't know. They don't pronounce words well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is, I would say, I don't have one because
Yeah.
I didn't pre-think.
That's fine.
And it's Monday and I've got a scheduled day.
Yeah.
So I'm also obsessed with the
clothing
rental
rentals.
clothes. I think it's fantastic. It's helping me
She's
live
got
with
rental
less.
clothing on today.
I do. I think it's helping me live with less. Like I can have this nice basic wardrobe and then get that
Rent
little
the fun pieces.
Well, it's very gratifying. And we are fortunate because we can expense because of the podcast, the rentals, the CPA allows us to do that.
Yeah,
So,
she said barely, but
yeah, these are the receipts or these pictures of these clothes. However, it kind of, I get this, you'll see when you open the box, you'll be like, oh, new stuff. But then it's also like after a month or 2 months, it's like, oh, I get more new stuff. I send this back.
Yeah.
So for me, it really scratches that
Seems
itch,
fun.
and I
Yeah.
don't end up with this whole closet full of things. So it's a little bit simpler. I know
Nice.
it's not going to work for everybody, but
Yeah.
it's a cool idea. And we're reusing, we're reducing, we're recycling.
Sure.
We're doing all those things. I have a feeling these services are going to continue and just come in at all different levels.
yeah, smart.
Because it's like it's kind of a cool way to thrift.
Yeah.
So I love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
That's it for today.
That's it.
I'm Lynn.
I'm Braelyn.
This is Everything in Between.